What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. In this episode, we're doing a pretty awesome movie called Way of the Gun.
Dude, this movie came out 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this movie before. When you told me to watch this movie, I was like, this is an old one. Normally, I don't like old movies. I was hooked from like the first 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
This movie was awesome.
And the reason we got this is Garrett Warren, he's directing his first movie. He's the technical advisor. He's the stunt coordinator for a bunch of movies. He does like Avatar and all those. Good friends with James Cameron. So he texted me, hey bro, I really want my movie to have some Way of the Gun vibe. You should check that out. So I was like, cool. So I checked it out and was like, oh, this is sick.
This movie's awesome.
This movie's great, and it's perfect for Beers and Breakdowns. So that's why we jumped into it. Garrett, if you're watching this, what's up, dude? And congratulations on James Cameron signing off to, I think he's co-producing your movie. Congratulations, man. I'm really proud of you, really happy for you. And let's jump into this movie.
But first, if you guys want to get some good clothes, you got to check out barbellapparel.com. You guys know we're sponsored by them. We've been sponsored by them for a while. We always wear their clothes. They have a phenomenal exchange and return policy. So if you go out of your clothes, you get too big, you get too small, and you just need new clothes, you rip them, whatever the case is, you can exchange those. If you're an elite member, you can exchange it for free. If you're not, then you'll just have to pay shipping, but you get new clothes that you ripped or you grew out of. And also, check out our new Chase Fear shirt. Abel can put it up on the screen now. It's a shirt that I actually designed, and they were gracious enough to put it into production for us. So I think that's pretty cool. So check that out. Go to their site, barbellapparel.com. Go to the search bar, type in FNG Academy, and you can find that. But other than that, let's get into it, man.
Yeah, that design was dope, dude. I like the design a lot. Too, man. I can't wait for mine to get here. Like, I'm waiting for it to show up in the mail.
Moving. Move. Moving. No. Moving. Whoa. Get her. It's okay. Oh.
Perfect example of bounding.
Yeah, right? That's pretty sick. I was surprised when I saw what they were doing. At first, I heard it was like move. I was like, what are they doing? I was like, oh my God, they're bounding.
Yeah.
This is a perfect break contact scenario right here.
I don't know. The only thing, I don't know if I would have let her go so soon, because then it's like I'm exposed. But I get it. He also has to cover the other guy, and these guys don't want to die over this job. Yeah. And, he's got a gun pointed at the back of their heads, so they're hesitant to fire. So tactically, it's a good egress plan.
Yeah.
And then they use bounding. You don't have to be military to understand basic infantry operations, and this is one of them. This is basic infantry 101.
Yep, exactly.
And it's funny if you put it in EMT paramedic context, because that's what I'm in right now, and so that's all my brain thinks about, is just because you go paramedic does not mean you will stop doing EMT skills. You're always going to administer nitroglycerin, and you're going to administer aspirin, even though you're a paramedic and you could administer all these other drugs. You're still going to give oxygen and do all the basic stuff. It's the same thing in special forces. You go special forces, it's like going paramedic. You're still going to do EMT tasks most of the time, which is your basic, keep them alive, standard, stuff. Yep. Infantry tactic. So that's also what I like about this movie is that there's like the whole time you don't know if they're idiots or geniuses.
Yeah.
It's like they're two idiots just stumbling through everything they do, but making good enough decisions that it works out.
And I wish they would go more into their backstory, because I feel like they are proficient at what they do.
They're super proficient.
I thought this was like their first time, but then at the end of the movie, they like reveal apparently they've like been doing this for a while.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The whole time I'm confused as to whether they're idiots or pros.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't tell. He just walks off. It's like this. You watch this and you're like, this is the dumbest plan ever. Like, how did you end up in a gunfight? You were free and clear. And then you fighting your way back into the building and then having to take a hostage. So, but they're still calm, cool, and collected. But it's like, I can't tell if they're like biodome level idiots. Or it's like, my sciatic. Like, are you Pauly Shore level idiots? Or are you guys like low-key geniuses that just don't care that much? I don't know what's happening. And that's the greatness of a movie, is like, why shouldn't it keep you guessing?
Yeah, I love that part,
Dude,
that part
cool
about this movie.
You don't want to dirty the lamp. This is a funny scene. So he puts all the guns on the table, all his revolvers on the table, and then one of them he puts a bullet in, mixes them all up in a bag, and then pulls one out. He's playing Russian roulette.
It's like the ultimate game of Russian roulette.
Yeah. The only issue with this is they're not all exactly the same guns. So as soon as you pull it out, you're like, I didn't put it in this one.
Did only one have a bullet? Maybe I didn't realize if he just put it in the one, or if I figured all of them had one bullet in, and that was like.
No, I think it was only one had bullets.
Either way, I love the fact that he covered the side of his head to protect the wall or the lamp, whatever it was.
But you know what? You're probably right. Maybe they just didn't want to show him doing it to all of them, but he probably put one in all of them.
That's
because 1 in 1. I mean, the odds are way stacked in your favor.
It just seems like there's better ways to spend your Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, you have 6 guns with, 6 rounds each? 6 times 6, 36. And then you got 1. So you got, you only got 1 and times the thousands of chances of each one of those guns going, because I wouldn't know how to do the math of that, dude.
I'm just saying numbers. You're just spitting out numbers like Rain Man or something. I'm
like, you got 36 rounds, 36 potential shots that could hit you, but each one, because you're going out of order, you have to also times it by each gun that could potentially be round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So I don't know. It's a funny game. Let's move on.
Subscriber you have called is unavailable or has passed outside the coverage area.
Shouldn't we be out there?
There it is.
What if something happens? Aren't you guys a team?
I'll be fine.
Yeah, what if he doesn't come back at all?
He always comes back.
I just love the booby trapped setup. It's like so ridiculously dumb, but it's awesome at the same time.
And again, like, are these guys geniuses? I don't know.
Or idiots. I don't know. It could also be that they're idiots. Like, why did you run, what is that game, Mousetrap?
Yeah.
It's like a game of Mousetrap happening on a shotgun pointed at the door. Like, why don't you just hold the shotgun? And if somebody comes in, you can shoot them. Like,
hey, man, maybe you had to take a piss. I support this.
And what if he comes back in and doesn't know that you made a stupid booby trap and then gets shot in the chest?
Communication is key in this situation.
Hey, bro, just so you know, I spent the last 3.5 hours making a sick booby trap.
You gotta come look at this.
I think it's gonna work. Obviously, haven't tested it because it's a gun. But I hope it's gonna work, and I'm willing to bet all our lives on the fact that my booby trap is gonna work, and the strings aren't gonna break. And instead of just holding the gun and shooting whoever walks in.
Okay, bro, you can sleep soundly tonight.
Yeah,
I got the booby trap set up. We're good.
Like, okay, or we could just take turns going to sleep because booby traps are stupid.
Leave her a note.
No, I think it's better if we just leave.
You can't leave her alone like that.
She's not alone. There's some guy hiding behind the diner. He'll come and get her as soon as we're gone.
Right. I left my jacket.
I mean, that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
Like, they're being watched, and you're like, these guys don't even know it's over. And he's like, there's a guy hiding behind the diner. He's going to come get her as soon as... Like, it just shows that they know what's going on.
Again, yeah, they're not idiots.
They're not idiots. And the whole time, you're like, no.
Where are they?
Gotta be idiots. They gotta be idiots. But they keep making good decisions.
And they've lasted this long.
Robin, come get in the car right now! The right!
Dude, it's just an awesome shootout scene.
Yeah, it is.
I just like watching this movie. I'm just sitting there watching it
Just
because
getting stuck into it again.
it's so good. They got that Overwatch position. He's like, if I want to hit my shots, I hit my shots. If I miss, I wanted to miss or whatever. Because it's like, so he's a snapshot. Tactically, they're paying attention. Like, they got him pinned down. The fact that they took that Overwatch in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, they're not idiots.
You know what I'm noticing? A couple episodes ago, you discussed what did we do, Sunray, and how it had too much build-up of the characters and stuff. This is a movie I wish had a little bit more build-up, because like, where are they getting all these guns from? So they busted out with shotguns that I didn't see before. Now he's got whatever kind of rifle he's firing. They've got like, apparently they've got experience and they got some sort of training or something like that. There's a lot of unanswered questions, I think, that I would like answers to in this movie. But still, I kind of like the intrigue.
I love it. I love that
because you don't know what's going to come next.
Yeah, imagine if they like did this long, boring run up of these two, and you're like, oh, they're spoon feeding you. He's SF. He's a ranger. He has this training. He is FBI. And they're just spoon feeding you all this nonsense.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, whatever. Now you're bored. You're like, what's gonna happen?
What's
like,
next?
The whole time you don't know if they're gonna immediately get caught or if they're gonna fight their way out because you're still trying to figure out if they're idiots or not. It's like watching Dude, Where's My Car? He's like, sweet, what does mine say? Dude, what does mine say? I was like, but they make it to the end of the movie in Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
And they're victorious. So it turns out they're not
They
idiots.
found the car, didn't they?
I think they did find the car. I haven't watched it since I was like 20 years. But I'm pretty sure they found the car. So, and look what happened to Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He married Demi Moore.
Yeah, not the greatest rise, but the ranch was pretty awesome. So there's that. 138.51. We're both going to use this mic because Abel sent us full mic cards.
I wonder if I picked up off you.
Oh, I just do this.
Okay. You started interviewing me, Maury Povich.
You got to adapt and overcome, my friend.
There we go.
Oh, no. What is it?
That was one of my favorite parts of this whole movie. The whole bagman thing.
Yeah.
And then breaking down, if you're a bagman, you're there to kill him. You're not there to actually like give him a deal.
Right.
Like once they send the bagman, it's over. And so they bring the money and they're like, what is it? He's like, oh, it's a bagman.
It's over.
It's over.
He already said he was going to see me again.
Yeah. So I just think that the bad guy is perfect in this. He's just like a solid hitman. They all know the rules of the hitman game, which is really cool. This movie's just awesome. And then the shootout scene, now I know why Garrett said we should watch this, because the shootout scene is one of the best.
It is. It's one of those that tactically, like their tactics are solid. Their one thing I was impressed with was all the reloads. Mm-hmm. Like they're doing reloads the way that they're at one point his hand doesn't work, so he's checking if there's still ammo in the gun, like single-handedly pulling the slide back, and then it feels raw and it feels real. It's not like overly produced. It's not like overly done. It's just a really good movie. It brings you in and the story's engaging. All of it's good.
Yeah, it's just a great movie. And like their tactics aren't perfect. They're not over militaristic.
Right.
It's just like two guys that learned over the years.
And that it's like what you would expect from these two. If they came out here and everything was spot on, then it wouldn't seem real.
All right, so now we got to jump into the final gunshot or shootout scene because obviously it's level 10 awesome. Oh, he shot him right in the penis. Mag changes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys haven't seen this, you got to just watch this movie. And especially this final shootout scene. Yeah. It's so good. And this is what it would be like. You would be just clamming for cover. You would be doing anything you can to not get shot, to hide behind this, hide behind that, find anything that's going to stop bullets, fire a couple rounds, move, fire a couple rounds, move. And then one of the worst parts is when he jumps over the wall into the glass and he cuts himself up. And it's like, oh man, I would have never thought to put that in. And it was such a horrible scene to have to watch. It was like, whoa, I think he's
feel it.
You can feel it just cutting into his arm. This movie's amazing, dude. I love it. Yeah. So we're going to end it on this one because one of the lav mics card is full. We got to go figure that out, and we're going to have to run it both off this one. A will set us up for success. Thanks, dude. But we hope you enjoyed that episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you made it this far. I love when you guys comment, made it to the end. That's always my favorite because, you know, it's hard like for people to make it through the end of YouTube videos because of ADHD and
yep.
We see the next shiny thing. But my favorite YouTubers, I always make it to the end and watch all their videos. One of them being Sally is a Dog. I love that guy. I love watching him play video games for some reason. Makes me happy.
All right.
So
hey guys, if you know any other movies like this, let us know because this was a gem that we didn't know about until somebody recommended it. So
favorite YouTuber? Who do you watch?
Matt Armstrong.
Matt Armstrong?
He's a car guy.
Cars?
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Let us know your favorite YouTubers, who you guys watch, maybe your top 3. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Camp Landing is in Stark, Florida, which is probably one of the worst places you would ever want to do an SFRE.
It's called the Special Forces Readiness Exam. You can come right off the street as a civilian, active duty or guard, different branches. You can be a Marine or in the Air Force and try out for the unit.
I was going for a miracle. I'm an older guy. You know, it's about business. It's about the standard. You know, it's just my job to just show up and just get it done.
I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
For this show, we just wanted to peel back the curtain and show people what it's truly like to become a Green Beret.
We want to see that grit and determination more than anything. If you refuse to get back up, then it's a failure.
For this selection process, we had 60 high-speed people show up. I promise you that none of these guys are gonna leave the same way that they showed up. They have no idea what they're in for.
Whatever led you here, you must have been lying to yourself about the reality of it.
Bro.